buongiorno, which means good day. And this is your second Italian lesson. First of all, I wanted to say buongiorno means good day, buonasera means good evening, and buonanotte means good night. And if you're going to say to somebody that's just kind of an informal acquaintance of yours, you want to say goodbye, you would say arrivederci. But if you had a really close friend, like a relative, or just a real good friend, or maybe even a spouse, you would say arrivederla. Okay? So arrivederci for just casual acquaintances, arrivederla for somebody that's closer to you, a relative, a good close friend, or even a spouse, or children. Okay? Now, as I told you in the previous video, nouns in Italian are either masculine or feminine. Sometimes it's real easy to tell. Sometimes it is not. So how can you tell on some nouns whether it's masculine or feminine, and on other nouns you don't? Well, Italian nouns will either end in O or A. Now that's most of the time. Okay? Sometimes an Italian noun will end in E. And there are a few times when it'll actually end in an I. Okay? But we're not going to talk about the nouns that end with an E or an I. Okay? We're going to talk about the ones that end with an O and an A. If they end in O, that is a guarantee that that's a masculine noun. If they end in an A, that's a guarantee that they are a feminine noun. Okay? But whether they end in O or A, that is a singular. Okay? That means one person or one thing. When you say sedia, what you're saying is you have one chair. Okay? You don't have lots of chairs, you have one chair. If you say sedie, you actually have two or more chairs. Okay? Now, let's say you wanted to turn a masculine noun from singular to plural. Well, what you do is you drop the final O in the spelling of the masculine noun, and you would replace it with an I. Now, let's say you had a masculine noun that ended in E. Okay, now sometimes these Italian nouns that end in E are feminine, and sometimes they're masculine, and you have to kind of look that up in the dictionary. But if you have an Italian word, it is masculine and is spelled with a final E, what you do is you drop the E and make it into an I to make it from singular to plural. So, whether your masculine noun ends in O or ends in E, you're going to change it to the letter I. Okay? Now, let's say you have a feminine noun and it ends in A. Well, if it ends in A, it will be turned into E. Okay? So if you have sedia, which is your feminine noun here, you're going to change it from A to sedie, which is E, and now you have two or more chairs. Sedia is one chair, sedie is two chairs. Now, as I was telling you in the other part where you change the masculine noun and its ending, well, teatro is, actually it's teatro, okay, E is pronounced A in Italian. Teatro is singular for one theater. Teatri is plural. So in other words, you have more than one movie theater. Okay? Now then, that's pretty much it for this lesson. I will tell you, though, that whether you place un or una or even uno next to a noun that you're using in Italian will all be determined by whether that noun is masculine or feminine. Alright, I will tell you more in a future lesson, so stay tuned.